What's up, guys? truezombieslayer here. Man, this game was wild. This was literally one of the first solo queue games I did for the day, and it was so intense. Like, I didn't expect my first solo queue game in rank today. I mean, the day I recorded it, to actually be a win. And to be honest, my teammates, while they're good in the situations when it got intense, ultimately I feel like they were lucky that I gave as much support and pinged as frequently as I did, because at the very start, you're gonna see it soon, they basically was hardly communicating until I was using pings to say things. But regardless, it was a really sweaty game, and I can't wait to share it with you guys. I really hope you guys enjoy it. And yeah, so here we dropped. I try to be as separate from them as possible so I can loot up, get my loadout going. I've been really liking the longbow lately, more specifically the Sentinel, but honestly, the longbow did me justice in this game. And you're gonna see the first instances of how my teammates was hardly communicating at the start, and like I know I'm supposed to be paying attention to like the whereabouts of my team, but look at them, they both have purple shields, I have white, and honestly, like, I'm not really all that kitted up. You know, I just finished getting like good attachments and stuff, but I'm out here trying to find a good shield. And as I'm looting, you're about to see here, the Horizon and the Mirage already dipped. They didn't ping that they were going to go over there, and honestly, I didn't even realize they got into a fight till just now. Like, you're about to hear it here. See? So once I heard her talking that she was in a fight, I started rushing over because I was like, oh, come on, guys. Like, you didn't even ping that you guys were heading over there while I was still trying to like get situated with my loot. But you know, whatever. You know, make best. It's randoms. You know, like I don't expect much from randoms anymore. It is what it is. I'm just glad it didn't disappoint me in endgame. Here, you know, I'm giving them covering fire. That team was the one that was shooting at them. I'm just posted up trying to snipe them out. I'm like, now here's where I'm starting to communicate with them with the pings, and it's when I start pinging like that that they start pinging and notifying me and whatnot. Because I don't know why, but they just wasn't pinging at the start. It was pretty annoying, to be honest, but either way, this is still a banger game, and it's so wild, the situation I'm gonna get into later, where essentially, like, I was like paper health, and you know, at any moment I could have just got like jumped by an entire team, but I managed to slip away just in time. But we'll get there when we get there. For now, I'm just constantly sniping these guys, giving them pressure as I'm trying to cover for my team, and they're fighting whoever's around because I hear a lot of gunshots. And yeah, I'm gonna be giving my commentary at key moments here and there. I honestly just want to give valuable content. I don't want to be rambling the entire video, but yeah. Like, this game was so crazy. Like, I can't understate it.
Recharging my shields.
Bam! To the... Bam! I'm running out of ideas.
Need a new angle on this. Taking fire.
Large star out.
So yeah, so as we reposition here to get out of storm, This is one another situation where like the randoms were like be playing too passive or not like communicating enough. I mean, because like the whole time, whether you see a mic move or not, I didn't hear a single thing from any of them, especially Zaza, who kept having his mic flare. I heard the enemy team was flying over there, and this was one of those
More shields
moments
on a
where
mark over
we
there.
should push
Care
on them,
package
especially
lost.
because they have lower shields.
Switching it
Of
up.
course, they don't know that. No, actually, no, they do, because when I ping them, Vantage tells them what shield level they have. But they decide to stay up there, even though the storm is gonna force them to move anyways. And because they didn't move up early, the enemy was like really focusing me while I was sniping. But regardless of that, I still got this knock. And had they been pushing, we could have finished that person sooner. But ultimately, it is what it is. We pushed up, they escaped into this area. I started sniping the crap out of Revenant there. And I started pushing in, and this is the moment that I mentioned earlier in the video where it gets intense. I'll be trying my best to accurately tell you what's going on through my thoughts during these moments. Here I hear some footsteps, so I'm over here checking our backs because
10 seconds, but
good
the ring's
teammates
near.
have good game sense awareness and make sure they're covered. I peeped that they pushed up, and so thus I pushed up too. In this situation, when the revolt goes all, I thought that they were going to come inside and push up, so I was just making sure that this side was covered while my teammate had the right side. And then I saw that they didn't move. Unfortunately, I didn't really do much damage, so I ran away after getting one shot off. But here, though, I covered my teammate's back despite having no shield and beamed that guy, knocked him.
Using a Phoenix kit.
I had to step back and use this Phoenix. Most people when they're hurt, they just focus on shielding, but sometimes you have to focus on the fight, or otherwise you're just gonna get rolled up on. I get the res here, and things are looking a little bleak with my other random teammate being down. I got her up. I gave as much covering fire as I could. Gave them as much of a reason to not push as possible,
Another squad's
giving my
bouncing on
teammate
us.
time to shield. But at this point, I thought things were so bleak that I said, you know what, I have to go. I have no more shields, and at this point, I'm just gonna rat. So in my mind, whether they live or die, that's on them. But I'm focused on winning here, so I abandoned them for a justifiable reason. I cannot continue that fight, and it would, like me dying there, would have served me no purpose. So I left them there, and miraculously, they actually survived. As as you can see, they're gonna make their way towards me now.
Healing up.
But yeah, it was one of those like executive decisions where it's like if they make it out, then great, there's a chance we could win. If they didn't make it out, I was gonna rat and get my points up because
Echo's got an
I was
angle.
not about to let this
Moving
game
there.
slip through my fingers. But luckily they didn't, so we're still rocking as a team. That dude, like
Recharging my
it's
shields.
like you have like no situational awareness, my guy. Like you literally saw I have no shields and I haven't shielded up the entire
That was
time that
worth
you
it.
came
Well,
over,
never mind.
and you're gonna try to grab that too. Like I had to steal it just to make sure I had even shields. Like, come on, my guy. Like situational awareness on these guys is pretty poor. But luckily they don't let me down, so you'll see as we're getting into end game now. 4 squads left. I did what I had to here, which is obviously craft up a bunch of bats and meds, because otherwise I'm not going to be able to survive the end game. So as I finish up replicating here, I hear a dropship, which means the enemy's being rezzed. Now this is an easy opportunity for all three of us to beam, but it was a missed opportunity because I don't know, the horizon was just lost, and and Mirage was pushing, but he was pushing in a really wide angle, so it was like we couldn't even
Reloading.
capitalize or anything. Ultimately, I noticed this
Recharging
after the
shields.
fact when I re-looked at the footage, but Horizon didn't use her ult not once this entire game, and
Moving.
that is such a waste of potential. Like,
Some prey.
why wouldn't you use your ult? Like, for example, before before I repositioned here and whatnot, when that person was dropping from the dropship, she could have used her ult
1 minute and the ring
to
system.
suck that guy in
Even if
and
you
not
feel
let
like
him
you're
make
being
escape, and we could have gotten an easy kill, a very easy kill, but she never used it, and thus, that person got away. And now we
rings
repositioned
nearby,
here,
the
and
closest
this
pool
is
you
where you're gonna
want.
really see that, like,
Lovely.
despite me
Let's
missing
go.
some shots here and there, I really did lay down the covering fire. I really kept teams at bay and kept them hurt and damaged so that they wouldn't have the confidence to push us. And here, boom, I hit
Okay,
them.
found our prey.
Unfortunately, like, I didn't get to like really hit that fuse that was pushing up, but regardless, as I like refill my ult here, in hindsight, I was just lucky that my teammates were at least good shots that they could get their shots on. But ultimately, like, the Mirage was fine because he was ulting and using his abilities quite often, but the Horizon, like,
Bad guy.
she really
Penetrating
didn't
orbit.
she didn't use her kit like effectively. And honestly, I wish that she picked any other character. I feel like any other character would have been even better
Try
in
and
this
hide with that shiny
situation,
tag on you.
in any situation that we were in. But
Tagged him.
it is what it is. You work with what you're given. I can't control randoms.
Tagged.
Yeah, I love that snipe there. They thought they were safe, and I shot them through the crack. As we
Taking
approach
fire.
end game in these
Firing.
final 2.5 minutes, things are going to really ramp up and pick up. Where game sense and awareness is what's going to give us this victory. I take this lift here because I tried to get to the top and I
Ring
couldn't.
closes.
But it worked out because it distracted Bloodhound and allowed me to get 2 shots on him. At this point, I was trying to preserve my batteries and not waste too much. So I was looking around, surveying, making sure our flank was covered.
Eye sharp. Enemies near and closing in
I
1
was
minute.
hoping that there was enemies behind the rock to the left, and that's why I decided to push up to try to see if I could get some sneak shots in. But unfortunately, by the time I get there and shield up, because at this point, like, I noticed that the enemy, the second team,
10
can
seconds, but
see
the
me
ring's near.
clearly, so I don't want to risk getting beamed. I crouch walk here, trying to see if I could sneak up on the guy that's supposedly here, but I don't see him. But as I get into cover here, I didn't realize that the storm was closing in already, so luckily me getting shot here woke me up to the fact that I had to reposition because the storm was going to start touching me. And now a critical moment in Endgame is about to play out, where every split-second decision I made gave us this victory. While my team was focused on the left side, I noticed the enemy's flank to the right as I shoot and ping their attack. Instead of shielding up, I cover my team, which seals the enemy's fate. That's what separates good from great players. Understanding that in some situations the best call is to help your team fight despite being hurt bad, rather than hiding to heal so you can fight at 100%. Bad to good players usually don't understand that healing is taking you out of the fight, and thus turns a fight from a 3v3 to a 2v3, thus screwing your team over. Usually the best thing to do is heal up so you don't go down easily, but knowing when the right time to heal is key to mastering Apex's combat. And here, I'm just here, cleaning up the last guy, flank him from behind, shoot him. Uh,
Reloading.
I don't know. I was like really like hype in the moment, and then here I just finished the guy off. Like, my heart was pumping, so I was just shooting all his Mirage clones like a dummy. But regardless, we got the win, and
Man, that was
yeah,
sweaty as
over here I
hell.
turned on my mic to congratulate them for the
You are
win
the
and
Apex
good shit
champions.
and all.
Oh,
Here you're gonna see the
good shit,
stats
guys.
and the points I gained, and yeah, this was a really sweaty game that I played, and unfortunately I didn't get much kills, but you can see through my damage that I did put in a lot of work. So thanks for watching my video. Please like, share, and subscribe, and I really hope you enjoyed this video, and I hope it was informative. Till next time, and get ready, the next video is going to be a banger, I promise.